Okay, I got some new stuff, something I learned and thought I'd share with you. So this is a tackle box I was using most of the time last year, but it's by Flambeau and I like it. But at the national championships, KBF national championship, I took a little bit of a dip in the water. I did not. How about that? The kayak, I flipped my kayak. I wasn't in it. But my black pack got wet. And that's when I learned that this particular tackle box is not watertight. And so I was going back to, I said, well, I'll go back to the Plano. That is, I know, watertight because I've also dropped it in the water numerous times. And so I'll go back to that. Well, I went to Bass Pro last night and I was going to record a video, but there were about 5 million people in there. And I found this new Plano stowaway. And I picked this up at Bass Pro. It's $18.99. They had the older version, but I was like, oh, I like this. It's kind of a mix between the older one and the Plano Edge. And so I kind of like the idea of it. So I bought 2 of them. And I thought I'd show you how it works. First of all, it's got the 1 hinge closed instead of the 2. I like the edge. There you go. Pop it open. It's got the seal. It's tied in there. It's got your little blocks and your spaces. And so I'll set this one up and I'll kind of show you what's in the other one as I kind of transfer my stuff. But I like this one. You can write on it. It's got a little place to write on it here. And so I thought that'd be a neat place to write, you know, wacky. For the most part, that's what's in here is a wacky rig setup. Or most of my wacky rig is in here. And that's just what I keep in one because that's what I fish a ton of. So I keep that in there. So it's got your little dividers. It comes with, let's see here, there's 2 stacks of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 14 dividers. So we'll just throw a few in here. And then I'll kind of show you how I set up. And this is a pretty deep little ridge in here. So it's not shallow by any means. So I'll show you how I have some things set up. I'll show you my wacky rig selection. And then I'll show you what I really like to throw and what I catch a ton of fish on. And there you go. And then I'll show you what else is in my wacky rig container. Put a couple in there and then we'll kind of go back to it. And then I'll show you what I'm going to replace because I'm an idiot. All right, let's see here. Slides right in, nice and smooth. Unless you're me and your hand don't work. There you go. All right, so that'll get me started. So back over here in my Flambeau one, we'll start off with the one that I use probably the most because it's the one that's is the most, and that'll be this wacky rig. It's from Berkeley. It's got a little weed guard to it, and it's very lightweight, real simple, super sharp hook. And I tie it, and then of course, you know, I use a VMC worm ring. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's kind of how it looks. These will last, and it'll help your worm last longer. I happen to have a worm laying here, and so it goes across your worm, and then you rig it through the top of it. And there you go, fishing all day. And that little bulb, as I said in a previous video, is part of a rattler from Z-Man also. So there you go. And of course, when it falls, the weight of course falls first, and It's just kind of bouncing along, and got this end is really the end that's the action end, and that's why the rattler's down here. It rattles a little more. So there you go. So that's how I work that. And so these don't rust per se, and so these are the ones I have the most of. So when I open them up, I want it to be kind of front and center. So those go in the center. If I find deep structure, and I'm talking deep structure, and for me, deep structure is going to be probably 20 feet or more, I will change to a little bit heavier. We'll put it in front of Michael Scott's hat there. I'll put it in a little bit heavier so it can get down there. And the reason I want it to get down a little faster is because you might pick up some smaller fish on the way down, and I don't want the smaller ones. I want the bigger ones that I'm targeting. So I'll put these up here at the top. These are also from Berkeley. And I'll just drop those up there. Another kind of an in-between. Same one. Now another size or two I have. I got a little mix here. This one is more, they call it a jig. However you want it to be. This one, if I have a ton of lay down or a lot of low hanging bushes or whatever, I'll swap over to this one because it's round. Whereas this one is a little bit more, come on out there. Another one. Here we go. Put that one back in there. A little different size, but the same one. This one's a little bit more oblong, and it doesn't skip as well. I mean, you can skip it great, but this one, however, is round, so it skips better under the brush. So it gets its own little container also. I have a few of those. All right. See what else is in here. Same ones, same idea. A little bit bigger ball. If we're throwing a little deeper, if I know there's deep drop-offs over by a ledge or something that has low hanging, and I want to skip under there, I'll change it to this one so we can drop under there a little faster. All right, let's see here. What's in this one? That's one that got out of home. Another one that got out of home. Okay, now another little section I need to create over here. I'm going to create up here at the top so I can get, I'll probably create it right here. Yeah, we'll create it right here. Okay. The next little section that I will use a lot of course, is the ring itself. Little VMC rings, and I have some different sizes. I got a smaller size, a large, a medium size that I use the most of, and a bigger size. Some days I will throw a bigger worm, and so I need a bigger presentation. And in other days, if I'm getting a lot of bites, you will see that they might just be after the worm instead of taking a bite. So I'll tighten up my worm with a smaller ring. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it works like a charm. And so if you just go to that little bit tighter ring on there, they'll stop chasing the tail so much and have to actually bite it. And that will generally help your bite ratio pick up just a little bit. I know, sounds a little crazy, but once you've been out there trying it for a little bit, you'll figure those things out. Then the bigger one, if I have a bigger worm, keep those over there on the right. Boom. Now, another thing about this VMC hook, and I have it in black also. I just keep a few of these around in case I am dark worm or something. I'll just put it on there so it doesn't stand out against the against the worm itself. So the clear one does not, because it's not technically clear. So there you go. Okay, another hook I have in this setup is this Nico rig. Okay, and so how you rig this one is I use the same worm, same ring. You're going to take this worm same way you had it Texas rigged, take it out, and it'll come out. Just turn it kind of flat, boom, pops right out, right back in the tackle box. Then you're going to take it, and this Nico rig has a ring that runs, I'm sorry, this crossover ring, this VMC crossover ring, has a ring that goes this way, and it also has a ring that goes this way. So you can rig it like this, and then it's going to drop. When you throw it, it'll drop this way. It'll drop kind of like this. If you just hold your tip up, it'll drop like this way, right? And you can move this ring up a little bit to keep your, and probably move it up a little more. So right there in the worms, in the egg sac, I move mine to the top, so it's kind of falling this way. You get the bite there. And of course this is ringing. Now if you want, of course, you can rig it the opposite direction too. Get a little more of that tail action as you head down the water column. Okay. So I keep those. I do trim these to wherever the point is. So I'll trim those off. All right. And then if I don't have a Nico, if I'm running the Nico, which I do sometimes if the bite's slow, I will take this little nail weight, and you can put it in the bottom so it'll fall a little bit straighter down. Put it in the bottom of your worm. It's just a little bitty weight, you can see, a little nail weight. I just keep some of those in there with the hooks. Just an odd bullet weight or two is in here. Another dark crossover, bigger ones. Okay. Now, one of the things that did rust was a weedless wacky rig that is weightless. And if the bite is super slow, I'll rig it. But as you can see, it rusted the point off the barb, so I don't have a lot to grab. So that'll have to go away, and I'll get a new pack of those. All right, let's see. What else is in here? The other thing I keep in here, I also got a little rust on them. Maybe I can get those clean. I'll put them in the Sonic. Is my shaky head. These are from Z-Man. And I keep these in here just to throw different worms on and such. Just an old shake my head from Z-Man. Works out great. And that's what lives in this tackle box. It's got a little rust on them, but I think I'll clean those and they'll be fine. The only other thing in here other than to shake my head is couple miscellaneous flatheads. Sometimes when I'm on a shaky head, I'll throw this one on too, just in case. And they live in here miscellaneously. Just keep that in there. So that's what goes in my wacky rig setup. Nothing too fancy, nothing too great. I do like this new Plano box, and hoping and praying that it will keep everything. Well, first of all, hoping and praying that I don't fall in the water. That's always the key. Second, if I do, hoping that all this will stay nice and dry. So to close it, you just kind of simply lift over. It goes right over the lip there, right? Just kind of like the edge. It kind of goes over. I must have a hook in it. Oh, yeah, there they go. Here we go. Goes over, just a little click, and bam, there you go. Nice and tight. It's tight. So there we go. Peel off this Plano. Got a nice and neat wacky rig set up. It looks good. And I'll write wacky rig on there when I find a black magic marker. Alright, there we go. This one will get repurposed out to my shop, and I'll use something for it. You got another one. There it is if you want to see it. Up close and personal. It's a 3600 dry lock seal, single latch, rigid dividers, restrictor, easy label. Got a bunch of compartments. Pretty handy. I like it. Made in USA. So there you go. Like it. Like the setup. Like everything about it. It's actually a little thinner than their other 3600. So I kind of like it. And of course we'll get rid of that hanging tag right there too. So there you go. All right. Thank you so much. You know, my plan is to, when I buy fishing gear or run across fishing gear, I'll make a video about it. And that's about the only thing I've bought. You know, Christmas is coming, so I'm hoping the wife has bought me some stuff. Or the kids. We'll see. So y'all have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. Get out, fish, enjoy yourself, stay safe.